Kids are back at school.
Yes.
Everything's rolling.
Yeah, I mean, both kids are doing so great, and I'm so proud of my daughter because one of the classes she's enrolled in is a speech class. And her first speech was last week, and she was super nervous.
Amy's daughter, by the way, if you're new, was adopted from Haiti and has a very thick accent still.
She still does, yeah.
And is still learning English, but she's pretty good.
Yeah.
Although she texts me like a businessman.
She is
How are
very
you today?
formal.
Are all of your things going well? Any objectives you need to help? I'm like, so sure, you're like 15.
I look forward to that.
Yes. I look forward to seeing you soon. So she's in a speech class with other English-speaking kids, like normal, straight up?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So she has to get up in front of the class and deliver the speech. Last week, I think the speech was about communication. And then this week, they took it a little deeper and they had to write about who they would have dinner with, dead or alive, the person could be.
Opening it up to dead people. I don't know that I like that, though, as the game. Jesus is always the answer, right?
Of course.
She debated that.
Or Abe Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I like just doing it live because it limits your options of, George Washington?
Anyone.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Real cool.
Yeah, like if you don't pick them, you're always a bad guy. So what did she say?
So all on her own, she brought it to me because she needed help printing it out and she likes to review and go over it. So I pull it up, I print it out, and she starts reading it. And she said, if I could have dinner with anybody, dead or alive, it would be my biological parents. And then she went into, I would ask my mom, and I got her permission to share this, by the way, and she's delivering it in front of her whole class. But she said that we could talk about it here because I was just so proud of who she's turning into. But she said she would like to ask her mom why she dropped her off at the orphanage at 5.5 years old. And then she said, also, I would like to know if my dad is alive or dead because I don't know. The last time she remembers seeing him, he dropped her off at school and she burned her left leg on his motorcycle and she still has a scar on her leg. And she's like, that's why I remember that day. But she has no idea where he is, but she remembers her mom. And then that is her speech. I mean, she has some other words in there. And then the last sentence is her understanding the need for this separation, she called it, from them, and that she forgives them.
That is a lot
I know.
to just pick up a piece of paper and stumble into.
Yeah, and I'm sure she's delivering it. Well, she is today, or after lunch or something is when she has that class. And she stood before me and my sister and practiced over and over. And she's already getting so much better from last week. She could barely deliver the speech without fidgeting and moving around, and she was so nervous. And then this one being so personal, I was just proud of her and the delivery, and I'm just sending her all the good vibes for today.
I can understand why you'd be proud. I can also understand why that would hurt a little bit, even though it shouldn't hurt. And when you think through it, you can probably think yourself into it not hurting because, right, she has biological parents.
Yes, I know I'm her second mom and that I hope she gets to reunite with her birth mom one day. Unfortunately, Haiti is just not in a position. I thought we would have gone back there by now, but it's just in such turmoil. It's not safe for us to go. And she did ask that a couple weeks ago. When do you think we're going to be able to go? And I just was honest with her, and I said, I don't know.
Did that hurt you a little bit?
I don't. No, I mean, I just want to make sure. I think it makes me question, am I doing the role that she needs? Like, is she trying to go find her parents because I'm not fulfilling that role for her? But that's just I know that's a lie that pops up into my head real quick. And I'm glad that I can.
Very human to feel that, though.
Yes, and I'm glad I can reset and know the truth and that she does see me as mom. And I'm reminded that every time, I call her and she answers the phone, hello, mother. And that
hello, mother Newman. That's what I hear.
Jerry.
Hello, mother. But anytime my kids call me mom, I am reminded, wow, they see me as that. Because their first year here, sometimes it was mom and then sometimes it was Amy. So there was some growing pains. But here we are.
Good for her. I'm proud of her for doing that, for being comfortable enough to do that in front of you.
And in front of her class.
No.
Oh, yes. In front of me, yes.
Yeah,
I
for
get
being
it.
able to write that and do it in front of you, and at the end to say, and I forgive them. Right? It's a complicated thing.
It's very complicated. And I imagine as she's 15, 16, as she grows into an adult, there's going to be more curiosity and more questions. And I just want to be there for her in the process.
I would imagine her curiosity and appreciation fluctuates like the stock market as the years go by. Mm-hmm. Because I think as she gets older, the appreciation for you will grow, but her curiosity will as well. You know, as I got older, and I wasn't adopted in the same way. I was adopted a bit by my grandmother and didn't have a dad and all of that story. But my appreciation for the people that stepped in for me on a much lower level rose so much, from my friend Evan's dad, who took me on vacations for the first time, my high school football coach, who was like the guy who instilled discipline in me. And so as I got older, I was like, man, like I really appreciate those men that gave me that influence when they did not have to, which I did when I was young. And same thing's going to happen with you. She's going to get older and see the sacrifices that you went through, but she's also going to get older and wonder who she is and where she comes from.
Yeah.
And what her human parents look like. You know, 5 years ago is really the first time that I'd met my biological father. And that was me being able to sit at a table and see him in human form was wild. Because I never sat and had dinner or had a conversation with a parent, ever. And so that was weird for me, and that's going to be weird for her, but it's something she's probably going to want to pursue.
Mm-hmm. And I hope she gets to do that one day. And whether I'm a part of it with her or not, that's okay, because I don't know what age it will happen. But
you'll always be a part of it with her.
Yes.
Even if you're not there.
Yeah.
You will always be a part of
so.
it, because you enabled her to have a life where she could actually go back or be curious from a healthy place.
Yeah, I hope so. Because another weird lie that pops into my head is because we adopted older kids and she was 10, almost 11 when she first got here. And I mean, it's happening quick. She's going to graduate and move out. I feel like the next 4 years are going to go so fast. And I'm like, what if we don't what if she moves out? And then it's like, oh, I have this whole life to pursue and this wasn't really my family. So I'm just going to move on, and I can't be like, hey, are you coming home for Thanksgiving? You know?
Let's be honest. Let's be honest, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about something. Kids in that orphanage, I've been there. It ain't good if they age out of it. Just statistics.
No. That's why we adopted older. Yeah.
They're not good. Yeah. I would imagine most kids that come out of that orphanage that are told you're too old to live here now, things don't turn out well for them.
Right.
I would imagine that's a very significant number that don't turn out well. So regardless of if she is what you just described, if she's totally that way or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect how everyone should feel about people that are doing things like you're doing to change kids' lives. And so I'm sure there is some resentment there, but you're a kid. You're supposed to resent your parents anyway, much less parents that took you from a place where you don't understand why you were taken out of.
Right.
Yet.
Which she has expressed that. Because at 10, she told me, nobody asked me if I wanted to come to America. Y'all just took me.
And she has a point.
She has it's so valid. And I was thankful that she could use her voice at such a young age and put that into words, because she was clearly feeling it. And it's not something you think about when you're in the process of it. You're like, oh my gosh, we're going to bring them here and be a family and give them this life. And her life was in Haiti with all her friends. She was having a good time every day. But yeah, I think ultimately once, she's older, she'll see it all. She can probably see it now. But I just had that fear of when she moves out, will she want to come back?
If she does or if she doesn't.
You know, it's still been better.
And it'll always be her decision.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a feeling that she will want to come back. At least to see me, because...
At least
to see me.
She looks forward to it.
Yes, I look very forward to our next commitment.
Yes.
Well, that is a complicated story.
Yeah.
It is.
But it's awesome at the same time. Complicated and awesome.
Absolutely. That she's mature enough to even communicate that, and then on the back end to go, and say what she said about it. She forgives them. That's awesome. She's so smart. I mean, you can just hear the scheme she's up to. She took the massage gun to school and was charging people to. That's That's something I would have done. That's awesome. She's so smart. That's super cool.
It's a Bobby Bones show.